The Silent Revolution of Vatican II. A council in secret rooms changed 1 billion lives, and most of us never noticed. Vatican II, the Silent Revolution. Are you ready to understand what it can teach you about change, about leadership, about seeing the world anew? In 1962, the doors of St. Peter's Basilica closed behind men in cassocks and robes, not in ceremony, but in deliberation. Pope John XXIII, a man of quiet vision, convened what would become one of the most transformative moments in modern history. The Second Vatican Council was not a protest, nor a violent upheaval. It was subtle, intellectual, spiritual, a revolution of thought. Yet it moved faster than the eye could perceive, reshaping the soul of the Catholic Church, and through it, the soul of modern society. For centuries, the Church had been a fortress, a world of Latin prayers, rigid hierarchy, and distant authority. For the faithful, the rituals were walls that separated the divine from the human. Yet the world outside was changing, faster than Rome could adapt. Industrialization, global conflict, social revolution. Humanity was asking questions, and the Church risked becoming irrelevant if it did not respond. Pope John III sensed this, not through politics, but through empathy, through the art of understanding the human condition. The Council opened its doors to dialogue, to listening. Bishops from every continent gathered, voices from Africa, Asia, the Americas, and Europe, mingling in halls steeped in history. Latin, once the sole language of prayer, began to yield to the languages of the people. The Mass, the heartbeat of Catholic life, was transformed from something distant and unintelligible into something intimate, immediate, accessible, a moment where community met divinity face to face. Imagine the first Sunday when parishioners heard prayers in their own tongue. Hearts stirred, eyes lifted, a bridge formed between the sacred and the personal. But change was not merely ritual. Doctrine itself faced reflection. The Council recognized the dignity of the human person, the freedom of conscience, the necessity of engaging with the modern world, the profound importance of religious liberty. It was a church acknowledging that faith is not coercion, but invitation. That truth can speak in many voices, not just one. That the divine can be encountered in dialogue, not only decree. Behind the polished corridors of Vatican halls, debates were fierce. Conservatives feared rupture, progressives demanded renewal. Yet through months of discussion, compromise, and patient discernment emerged a vision not of fragmentation, but of resilience, of adaptation. Change, it seems, is never violent when it is deep and authentic. It flows quietly, shaping hearts first, institutions second. The human dimension of Vatican II is often overlooked. These men, these bishops and theologians, were not mere bureaucrats. They were men of doubt, of conviction, of hope, wrestling with the tension between tradition and transformation. In their deliberation lies a lesson for every leader, every thinker. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to confront uncertainty with vision. Leadership is not domination, but the cultivation of possibility. And vision is not what we impose, but what we illuminate in others. Consider the ripple effects. The laity, millions who had felt powerless within the Church, suddenly had voice, agency, responsibility. Communities reimagined themselves, reaching beyond walls, beyond ritual, into social action. Education, civil engagement, dialogue with other faiths, the Church became a participant in the human story, not merely a guardian of dogma. The invisible threads woven in those Vatican chambers now connect the sacred with society, faith with modern life, conscience with action. And yet, the revolution remained silent. For many, the world seemed unchanged. The statues still stood, the bells still rang, the Mass still carried its solemnity. But inside the heart of the institution, and in the hearts of the faithful, the shift was profound. A change that is truly transformative rarely announces itself with fanfare. It whispers, it persuades, it endures. Philosophically, Vatican II teaches us something vital about existence. We are creatures of habit, of memory, of inherited structures, yet life demands adaptation. Stagnation is subtle death. Resilience is found in listening, in humility, in the courage to confront the unfamiliar without losing the self. These lessons extend far beyond religion. In leadership, in culture, in personal life, the same principle holds. The world will not wait. We are called to understand, to engage, to translate wisdom into action without losing the core of who we are. In reflecting on Vatican II, we see the architecture of human potential. Structures, whether spiritual or temporal, exist to serve the human spirit, not constrain it. Dialogue is stronger than decree, empathy more enduring than fear, and the capacity for change, when nurtured patiently and courageously, is limitless. So look at your life, at your work, your relationships, your ambitions, and ask yourself, where have I remained in ritual while the world has moved? Where have I listened without understanding? Where have I held tradition without daring to transform it? The silent revolution of Vatican II is a mirror, a call to awaken the same courage in our own hearts, to meet the future not with rigid certainty, but with attentive, compassionate adaptability. And as you step into that reflection, remember, the greatest revolutions are often silent. They begin in thought, in dialogue, in humility, and they reshape the world more profoundly than any shout, any battle, any decree. 1 billion lives were touched by Vatican II, but the revolution it represents, the philosophy it embodies, can touch your life today. It is a lesson in patience, wisdom, courage, and above all, humanity. The silent revolution continues within us all. Are you ready to listen, to learn, to change? If this moved you, if you want to explore how history teaches us to adapt, to lead, and to transform your world, subscribe, follow, and join the conversation, because the revolution is ongoing, and it starts with awareness.